thank you all for being here today. It's a really special day for us. We're making, I guess, what thus far is the most exciting, biggest change the garage has undergone. As some of you know, we opened in 2008 in the Bachmetьевский bus park, which was constructed by Konstantin Melnikov in the 20s. And we were open for about 4 years, and in those 4 years we had close to 1 million visitors. We really worked with the community. We really grew our audience, and we really started a dialogue that we thought would be most efficiently continued in the center of the city, or somewhere a bit, I guess, more accessible. So we have found a new home in Gorky Park in the Времена Года building, which we will talk to you about today. This is the building that we've been working on with Rem Kolhas. And we're incredibly excited to show you his plans for the site. So
it is partly a project that kind of fits very precisely in a number of our current preoccupations, and particularly it fits in our polemic to some extent with the current art world, where art institutions are getting bigger and bigger, and in a way continuously more luxurious, and culminating perhaps in the building that you all know. And what is for me very significant is that scale, in my view, is not necessarily productive for art. I got an artistic education through the Stedelijk Museum in Amsterdam, that in the 60s was perhaps the most avant-garde place in Europe. And basically its main tool was this incredibly simple building, which cost at the time €1,200,000 to construct, which was 18 meters wide and 60 meters long, and which had an absolutely overwhelming series of exhibitions with Fontana, Yves Klein, and other significant people, and the building was perfectly able to do it. So actually I have been looking, apart from my official life as an official architect, for smaller operations in art, and I just want to show a recent one. We were able to construct a very small museum in Guangzhou, kind of simply on top of a housing block, simply because we wanted to be near the people, and also, as you can see, we are near agriculture. And so this is a small operation that has nothing to do with architecture as such, but kind of simply an intervention at a significant place in an important culture. The second reason I'm very happy to do it is that since 1967 I've been deeply involved in Russia, and particularly in Moscow, and I think you could even say that without my first visit and exposure to Russia, I would not have become an architect. When I was younger, particularly obsessed with the figure Ivan Leonidov, and I want to show only kind of one drawing of his. It's a plan for Magnitogorsk, an entire city, and simply to give you an indication of how architecture worked then, this was part of a competition. There was so little time that the drawing was made overnight on a blackboard with chalk. So this is perhaps one of the most significant kind of architecture project, but it's kind of produced in 8 hours, simply through the kind of euphoria of the Soviet Union at the time, where it seemed that every aspect of life could be kind of reinvented. Currently, that kind of architecture is in dire straits, and in many cases nearly ruined. And for that reason, it's also kind of particularly interesting for me to be able to intervene in Moscow and with a ruin. Moscow is a very, contrary to its reputation, a kind of very beautiful city with so many more layers than almost any other city I know. And those layers are kind of both aesthetic. There are still many wooden medieval houses. The Kremlin is of course medieval, but there's also superb neoclassical art, modernist architecture, and of course the political wave of Stalinism, and kind of somehow all those together form an unforgettable entity. Now, this is the Kremlin. Gorky Park is actually kind of a linear strip next to the river, and we are fortunate to be able to put the next iteration of the garage in the beginning of that park. The park was used in 1923 for an exhibition of agriculture, which actually was one of the first demonstrations of the new language of architecture developed in the Soviet Union. And one particularly unique element is this one, a kind of series of 6 pavilions connected by a courtyard. The building is a rectangle. It's currently not a very popular shape in architecture, but if you look carefully, this is the gate of Gorky Park. Dasha was talking about using it in the winter. It is unbelievably beautiful in the winter, and the winter is very long. The site is incredibly polluted, and this is the building, the state we found it in when we first visited. So you can be shocked by the amount of neglect, partly kind of the result, of course, of the transition between the Soviet system and the market economy. The neglect is actually quite picturesque and offers also insights in the beauty of decay. And beyond that, you also can recognize a certain generosity that was common to Soviet architecture, large proportions, a kind of sense of the communal, and therefore we felt it was a very exciting mission to try to convert this generosity at the service of the garage. It has very beautiful views of the nature surrounding it. And actually, on our first visit, it was also clear that the architecture itself made people look quite good. There's something about the scale of the whole operation that I think is very promising for a public building. The roof has a view, and this is what you see. So our operation is in fact quite simple. In a way, you could say that all we do is wrap the building in layers of polycarbonate so that you still get light in the entire building, but so also that there is a view, but the view is kind of filtered and made more abstract. And of course, the same is true from outside. You are not precisely aware of what happens in the building, but you are certainly aware that things are happening in the building. So polycarbonate is not a kind of luxurious material, and in that sense, the whole effort is an effort in frugality to simply focus on making this building perform as a contemporary building, not only for art, but also for education, and also for a series of kind of parallel activities. I'm very happy that Dasha and the Garage are interested to maintain this kind of iconography of the Soviet time as a significant part of the environment. And then there is a kind of promenade around the core that is partly cafe, partly a kind of media library, partly museum and bookstore. So that basically the ground floor is art, but also a series of public facilities. Then here you see the kind of bookstore, library, and then in the core itself, there are kind of media activities, children's activities, and a kind of fully fledged auditorium. that can also incorporate the staircase so that actually it can accommodate a kind of very large visit. I mentioned already that on the ground floor there is a cafe, and that cafe actually enters here through the core to come out on the other side, and that will be a kind of passage through the building with outside space, inside space, a bar, inside space and outside space that enables the Muscovites to enjoy either morning sun or evening sun. Light is obviously very important in Moscow, and also creates a kind of really kind of central common room. There we were able to also do some research into kind of Russia's design past, and one of the intentions is to be careful and maybe resurrect a number of not so familiar kind of furniture masterpieces. This is, for instance, a chair of Leonidov, but also others of the 50s and 60s, to resurrect them as kind of part of the kind of garage program. There are two more important elements. There is part of the upper floor is a grid. That grid can move to create a large double height space for large objects, and that is connected to two doors that also move and that move open, that create a kind of large, almost like a hangar, a relationship with the outside, so that basically this is the typical condition, but when the two are lifted, there is a kind of open passage through the building, and then anything can happen, and it's also a way in which the building can engage other activities in the park, which hopefully will be also sponsored by the garage. I said that the facade will reveal, but not exactly what is going on, and here a kind of overview. We will have a kind of provisional open air territory that again accommodates open air activities, and that will be maybe kind of something that we can work on soon. The building will open in a year, but this summer there will already be activities taking place there. So that is kind of really my presentation of the garage. Thank you.
I think this building will, I think this really defines a new Russian identity, a very contemporary identity, because we're taking the past, we're not ignoring it, and we're kind of making a new future. I think that's really exciting. I think that's something that...
As a follow-up, you mentioned you'll be bringing new pieces, bigger pieces to Moscow. Can you give us a sneak preview of any of the artists' pieces?
Well, I'll tell you the artist that I'm dying to bring to Moscow, but nothing has been confirmed. So it's been my personal dream to bring a Richard Serra exhibition to Moscow.
Thanks.
Can the building handle the Richard Serra sculptures?
We have the outdoor garden if it can, so. Any other questions? Yes, go ahead.
Will it operate more as a Kunsthalle, i.e. without its own collection?
Yes, for now we will operate without a permanent collection. Yes, for now, yes. Yes.
Hi, I'm Ginny Duguay from the Financial Times magazine. I just wondered whether there's a great buzz about this in Moscow, and whether indeed there are other people already thinking, well, you know, we should be incorporating elements, as you are, of old buildings, and you know, has it started something already?
Well, you're the first to hear our plans, so I couldn't answer you, but I hope it will. We haven't really announced.
Over there?
Yes,
Okay.
so this is the international announcement, and but I do hope it will inspire people to do more conversions and to embrace the old architecture. Did you have a question?
Yeah, Rowan Moore from the Observer. Did either of you at any point contemplate knocking the building down and rebuilding it, which presumably would not have been more expensive given the condition?
I personally never.
No, it would have been a lot more expensive. Yeah, and no, we didn't consider it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Paul Carter Robinson from Artlist. You seem to be using some very modern materials like polycarbon, which I find, to be an exciting material that I haven't seen used on a large public building of this scale before. First of all, what are the sort of ecological benefits of using something like that? Russia's very cold, for example, and is it going to be very good in terms of thermal and sort of carbon footprint?
Yeah, there's no relationship between polycarbonate and carbon footprint, but
in terms of the carbon footprint.
It's a kind of the beauty of the material is that it's translucent, but that also you can kind of specify it according to different conditions. So if you need to, you can have almost an unlimited amount of layers. And the way we are designing it is to have a double wall, so that the wall itself also acts as the main device to control the climate. So all the junk that is typically on ceilings or through the floor is kind of coming through this wall. So it's a kind of very efficient and simple. Insulation, and at the same time view and light and
can you see
temperature.
Or is it quite frosted? I mean, I haven't had that much experience with it.
Well, it comes in many ways, but the selection that we made is quite transparent. But as I said, you don't see precisely, but you see colors and patches and silhouettes.
Is there glass involved as well, so that you can actually see?
There are low, kind of on the floor. There's a glass zone, so that you can actually
see the
see.
trees.
You can see the trees.
Thank you.
Okay, we're done? Okay. Thank you everyone for coming.